Welcome to the Eagle Valley Model Railroad. Before we get into the February 2018 layout tour and update, I want to say thank you again for the 500 subscribers. We do have a 500 subscriber contest going on, and you still have time to get entered. It's going through March 16th. Just follow the rules. The two videos that you need to go find to get the answers to the questions are pretty easy to get to, and just email the answers. So let's go ahead and get started with this update. Alright, so here's the addition. Again, we just have easy track in place for right now until we find that sack of cash and we can go buy everything at the hobby store that we need to finish this off. I do believe the final track plan that we've got laid out is the direction we're going to go. And it's going to serve the purpose of what we're shooting for here. And we're going to have plenty of storage. We're going to have some switching opportunities. And we're just going to have a good time with this new addition. So the only elevation changes that we have are from main layout height to industrial height. And that's basically 3/16 of an inch, which is the height of our cork roadbed. So that's the only elevation changes we have, nothing real drastic. The whole point of this layout for me was to experiment and actually learn how to do all the different parts and pieces of model railroading. And one of those is figuring out and getting elevation changes so they operate like you want them to. So your trains transition up the elevation, across the elevation, down through the descent, and back to the main layout level without any issues. I don't have an opportunity for that here in what we've built so far. So we're going to change that, and it's going to cost some work, but whatever, it'll be all right. So right here, starting right here at this turnout, the end of this turnout, we're ripping all of this up through the tunnel. All of that track going around the corner in the tunnel, all of that's got to come up. Yeah, I said we were leaving the mountain in place. I'm going to try to attempt all this with the mountain in place. What we're going to do is cut the mountain off here to give us access. I still have my door here that I can reach back there. And on the other side of the mountain, wherever it's at, we're going to cut the end off there. So it's going to be some opportunity for some more plaster work, tunnel portals, and we're going to do a 3% rise around this corner here against the back wall. Take out the truck transfer, come around that corner, and right here at this crossover section, we're going to take this crossover section up and move it down this way. So now the end of the crossover section will approximately be about here on the outside main. So our incline decline is going to start here, come all the way around, and it'll end right here. That's going to give us about 13 feet of track to work with. We're going to do a 3% grade, like I said. That'll give us an 1.5 inch rise over 4 feet. That'll put us at about, well, 1.5 inches. That'll give us 5 feet at that height. And what 1.5 inches will look like, that's a 2x4, which is 1.75 inches. So that minus 1/4 inch. I plan on putting the truck transfer back in the corner, so that whole corner right there will be raised to match the elevation. So we'll have us more of a canyon than a creek the next time this comes around. We'll cut that face of the mountain off so we can access inside of there, and that'll be interesting to do once we get started on that. The other thing we're going to do in this area right here, and I got my crane laid over. He likes to sleep on the job sometimes. I don't have any of my scenery stuff attached. As far as I say scenery stuff, I don't have any trucks glued. I don't have any cranes glued. I don't have any of that stuff in play. None of that. That's just sitting there. For the simple fact that I'm not really ready to glue down or nail down permanent structures at this point. We're still playing around with the track work. Hindsight, of course, and again, this is a learning layout, so we're learning. For any new modelers out there that's getting started in it, get your track plan, lay your track plan. Don't drop a single bit of scenery down. I don't care if it's a year. Run your tracks, run your trains, run your plan. You're going to find stuff that you would like to tweak. And if you've got all this ballast in place, you're going to have to rip up all this ballast. So this has wound up being a trouble section of track for the Eagle Valley. This is on court road bed. This goes down to foam, and it goes across this turnout. Now you think the trouble would be in the turnout. That turnout works just fine, and you can see right there. See if I can get it in there for you. You can see right there, that's the start of a wooden shim. So that turnout right there is absolutely on an incline, and it works just fine. The trouble is, I didn't mind my P's and Q's when I created this S right here. And that's tight. That's too tight. And you can't put any type of rolling stock back there of any kind of length without it derailing on that corner right there. It just won't do it. It won't make it. So what we're going to do is we're going to rip that up. Again, don't scenic everything until you've test run every piece of track with every piece of rolling stock in every scenario that you think you're going to come up with. Now, of course, I don't run my intermodals down through here. I don't run my well cars and my stat train down through here to make deliveries. But I do want a bulkhead flat or a flat car or a log car or whatever to come down here. So they're pretty long. You can get those that are pretty long. And I want them to be able to come down here without me having to mess with them. So we're going to take this up from the start of the end of the turnout here. And just take that whole section of track up right there and just rework it so it makes a smoother transition back there to the the chip mill. So I saw a couple videos where they had a concrete pad out in front of their engine house, and I wanted one. I liked the way it looked. Again, we got to do some major weathering to look like this has been in use for a while, but we at least have the concrete pad and poured, and we got it painted. I like the way that turned out. I like the concrete color that I just happened to mix up so much that I went around and repainted the intermodal yard, the concrete access road to the intermodal, and I repainted the paper mill parking lot as well, that same concrete color. So at least there's some, it all kind of looks like concrete anyhow. We still got to do some weather on it again, but I think it's going to turn out just fine. Changing the profile up of the layout right here, adding some topography to it, just getting rid of some of the flat. I like the way some of y'all's videos are where you can see the train coming around the bend and it's in a cut, or it's got a hillside next to it. That looks real neat. So we wanted to incorporate some of that into the Eagle Valley here. Again, guys, this is the purpose of this whole layout right here. We're just trying different techniques. We're trying different materials, seeing what works for us, what doesn't. So I absolutely encourage, if you see something that you just think, man, if he'd have done this little bit, it'd have been better. I understand what you guys say out there as far as it's your layout, you do it how you want to. But my whole point and purpose of this, and I call it small layout, it's actually a decent size now that we've put the addition on. My wife definitely thinks it's a decent size layout since the addition. But my whole point and purpose of this is to learn the hobby, learn different techniques, learn some tips and tricks. So if you see any little thing, anything that you may say, you know what, man, that looks all right, but dude, if you had done just this one simple little trick, or if you'd have done this one simple little thing, I think your personal opinion would have made it a lot better. That's what I'm looking for, guys. So when I'm asking you guys what this looks like, or how this is going, or what do you think, yeah, it's nice to get the good job and the attaboys and the compliments, but I want your raw, honest opinion. And I do truly believe that you can give someone your honest opinion and it be constructive. Yeah, there's some guys out there that get a little nasty with the way their comments come across. But hey, that's life. You're not going to please everybody all the time, and that ain't what we're here for. But again, if y'all see anything that's going on here that you feel like could be upgraded or done a little different, I'm willing to rip it up and play around with it. So just let me know, guys. Hope y'all enjoy the update. Don't forget about the 500 subscriber contest. We're giving away $75. And all you have to do is answer 2 little questions. We've got just a handful of you guys entered. There's room for plenty more. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and until next time, happy modeling.